Okay, Shadow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a fabulous Tuesday. I, for whatever reason, am in a bit of a mood. I don't know why, but you know how it is. Some days are awesome, some days are not as awesome. Maybe I'm in a mood because my 8 o'clock hasn't arrived for us to officially start our projects, but that's okay. I figured we could prep for said projects. But yeah, so we're still here. Part of the reason, so I don't know, you can see here, we've moved the futon. So we are letting Shadow back upstairs. We are all officially, that I think the other reason is I didn't sleep very well last night because trying to fit the three of us in a double bed when Shadow still has a massive cone on his head was a little bit problematic last night, to the point where I had to grab my pillows and go into the spare bedroom because I was like not, I was basically like sandwiched in between Shadow and Liam, trying to make myself as tiny and skinny as possible so that I could like let everyone have the room they needed. And then I needed to pee, and then I needed, you know, and I was like, there's too much going on. I just need to remove myself from the situation, or else I'm gonna be a very angry bitch the rest of the day. So unfortunately, but I'm feeling okay. But yeah, I don't know, just a mood. You know what it is too? This is like random aside, but I've been like following the like saga that is like the drama happening with the Try Guys channel recently, and they posted a new video with the update, and it just makes me feel, I don't know, it just makes me sad, the whole situation. So I don't know if maybe that's also like got me in a mood or something, I don't know, but that's all right. We're just gonna crack on. I think it's good actually that we're having like a cozy little prepping stream. So I have the floss boxes. This is the current floss stash, and we are going to go through the projects that we have planned for the next 2 months, and we're going to prep those. So what I usually do is I have just like cue card rings, I guess that's what you would call these, and I'll put the bobbins that I'm going to be using for each project on these. So I just finished, actually, let me grab it for you. I finally finished the project that I had been working on. I finished it yesterday before I spoke to my parents. It's officially done. I need to give it an iron. It's like fresh off the hoop. So that's really exciting. So I spent the morning rebobinating the leftover floss from the floss organizer for this project, stuck them back in the floss boxes, and now we're going to be going through and prepping the next projects. I still have to figure out how I'm going to finish this. My initial plan, I don't know if it's going to work, so I need to do a bit of troubleshooting on my end of how we're going to frame this before we ship it off to our amazing friend Jazzy. But yeah, so that was an exciting update from yesterday, because you know, I think it was last week, yeah, we were so close to finishing it, and I was like, we need to just keep her going. And also too, this will give me a project bag that I can then store these current projects we're working on. So one small snag in the problem, I have 8 skeins of floss and only 6 paper bobbins. I didn't realize that my paper bobbin stash was so low. So we are only gonna, to be fair, this is floss for the next 2 projects. So I think as long as we wrap the ones that are going to be necessary for the October projects, then I can get more paper bobbins. But yes, so a little bit annoyed by that. We're just having like a day of just like tiny little annoyances. But there has been some good stuff. Or I don't know if it's good stuff, but like amusing things. So I took Shadow for his pre-stream, or not his pre-stream, I just took him for his morning W. And because he still has his cone on, one of the things that he does right now is when he's like sniffing if he wants to, you know, do his business by a tree or whatever, and the cone will hit the tree, he'll like sort of growl to himself, just like in an annoyed way. So he'll be like, duh, rrr, rrr. You know, it's almost like he's being like, for fuck's sakes, man, this stupid cone, like, I'm tired of this shit. But yeah, so it made me laugh because it happened like 3 or 4 times, and you can just tell that he's like, seriously? Morning, Jazzy. How are you doing? I hope you're having a fabulous Tuesday. Keeping nice and cozy. We're in the middle of prepping, so that's why. And also too, like I said, we are upstairs again, so I theoretically could have streamed upstairs, but I recently, I Halloween decorated on the Sunday, and so I've like spookified my table, and so I low-key kind of wanted to stream on the spooky table. So that's what happened. This is part of a table runner, and then this is a tablecloth, and I just think, you know, it makes me feel happy, so that's why we're doing it. Despite the fact that it's still a very narrow streaming space, which is fine. In bed chilling, that's the best place to chill. That's an excellent place to chill. So, I'll show you guys the project that we're going to be working on when my flask finally arrives. I told you, I think Monday it got dispatched, and now it's finally with Royal Mail. So hopefully it will come to us soon. The only problem is that there's going to be a bunch of strikes in the coming weeks, so we'll see. But this is what we're going to be working on. You can kind of see, so we're not going to be turning them into drink tags. That's just kind of how they're advertised or how they're created as such. So instead of doing like the paper Ada and stuff, we're just going to be using regular cloth Ada. And if these are small enough, I'm going to stick them in keychains. But these are the little projects. I figured too, hopefully, I might be able to finish each one sort of within a stream or within like a couple of streams, which I think would be really cool. So this is what we're working with. So I figure what we'll do is we'll start prepping our floss, and then we'll figure out which ones from this stash we need to add, because I don't know if I remember correctly, I had quite a few of them but not all of them. So let me just go through and check. So this is 702. We need 702, so this one will definitely be bobbinated. Yeah, hopefully. Fingers and toes crossed, and by the end of the week, because the next 2 streams we're going to be needle felting, and so hopefully by the following Tuesday we will actually have the Ada cloth and we can start the project. I have my maple black tea today. It's warming up my hands because I'm freaking chilly, despite the fact that we are going through like a little bit of a warm spell right now. It's really interesting. It's like 18 degrees today, which is really strange for this time of year in my brain. Okay, this is 3864. We don't need this one for this project, so that's fine. I think a lot of the skeins I ended up purchasing are for the November Howl's Moving Castle cross stitch, but for right now we'll go through. This is 3740. So in case you're wondering, so this is the floss chart, and they also have, I've never heard of Sullivan's, I guess that's the new thread. Instead of like Anchor, they use that one. So DMC, these are the numbers that we're looking at in terms of our project design. So that's what we're doing. Which color is this? 729. And then luckily, if projects are good, they'll put them in numerical order. Sometimes, I think like when people generate their own charts, they don't always happen in numerical order, and then you end up jumping around all over the place. Luckily, this one, we don't need that one. What is this one? We don't need that one. This is 939. Nope. And nope. And So I think we really just needed this guy from the situation. But what we'll do is we will procure what we currently need from the bobbin stash. So let me get all of the bobbins out. So we need, I hope this doesn't hit the top. Boop. 208. Which is this guy? Yeah, hello. Things are going not too bad. How are you, Saul? Yes, we're in prep mode because we don't have the Ada cloth we need to start actually working on the projects. We are currently prepping the projects with all the fingers and toes crossed that our dispatching of our cloth doesn't get in the way or doesn't get impacted by the Royal Mail strikes that are happening periodically throughout the month. So right now we're prepping. But yeah, doing A-okay. So we need 208 and 209. And then as we need them or as we collect them, we just put them on the hoop and then we'll have everything we need. Oh, really? Oh, was it stressful? Yeah, because you went, where did you go? Because you also had to travel you traveled into London last weekend as well, right? Because I told you guys how I went to a Disney-themed brunch on the Saturday, and it was a mission and a half to get into London with all of the rail strikes going on. So did you have a treacherous London journey as well? We need 310, which is our universal black, and we usually have a whole bunch of it. So we will put this here. I need to buy more because, well, I say that I still have like 4 or 5 of them, but it's very common. If anyone wants to get me a present, just buy me DMC 310. I just need black thread, always. Always need black thread. Okay, 310. Next is 436. 436. Oop. Yeah, with no rail going from Northwest London down to Crystal Palace. Yeah. You had to make the trip 4 times? That's wild. I guess was that mostly tubes or was that buses? That's good. I'm glad it was worth it once you got there. Oh, excellent, Autumn Acer. I love to hear that. Relaxing music and crafting is also my vibe, so I'm glad it's your vibe. Welcome from Scotland. That means good afternoon to you. What sort of crafting do you like to do, if you don't mind sharing with the class? Okay, we need 606. We're currently prepping for our next projects because we don't have the Ada cloth. The Ada cloth we need to start the projects hasn't arrived yet, so we're prepping. And so far, so good. Okay, 702. Oh, we gotta go to the next box. It was car. No problem. I was just asking what sort of crafting you do. If you would like to share. No. Aw. Good for him, though. Good for your dad for persevering and doing that. You know what I mean? Like, as somebody who doesn't particularly enjoy driving, let alone I would never London drive. So yeah, he should be very proud of himself for making that journey. And I'm glad it was worth it for you guys. Okay, what color's next? Yes, 702. You're a cross stitcher. Oh, awesome. That's really cool. love that. So we're mainly working on your third piece though. That's really exciting. 606, 702. Yes, okay, so that was the 702 that we need. We also need a 703, which will go here. And then when we bobinate the 703 or 702, then we will stick that in there as well. 740. $741. And white. And then I'm pretty sure, yeah, it looks like, because what happens too is when you have a pattern, it'll show you like which section are the full stitches, which are the back stitches. You really can't see that, can you? There we go. Sort of. Where the back stitches are, there's going to be French knots in here, which are the bane of my existence, but, you know, hang on, it'll be fine. I think we only have to do, like, 2, so we will be, yeah, like, literally 1. There's 1, so I think we can do 1 French knot, even though I absolutely dislike them. And then we have our back stitching and a different type of thread, which is this chronic fine braid, which is these guys. This is like sparkly stuff. So we have a purple version of this also coming with the Aida cloth for the project. So that's what's happening. A French knot is basically like... It's basically like a decorative knot. Is kind of the best way I can describe it. It's when you like basically knot your thread in a strategic way that creates yeah, that creates, like, usually they use it for like eyes and stuff, or like little dots on things. So I think in this instance, because this is going to be a French knot on like this snake oil thing, it's meant to represent an eyeball. So yeah, best thing I have is you are strategically knotting your floss to give it some sort of dimension and like little zhuzh. But I don't like them because I find if you don't do it properly, sometimes you can pull the knot like through the Aida cloth, or you might like not make them taut enough, and I don't know, I just seem to like not have the finesse to like always have them work out the way I want them to. Done 2 monochrome pieces. Ooh. That's really cool. Monochrome is like a nice way to start before you get kind of like too overwhelmed with all the colors. 1, overwhelmed, and 2, the overwhelmed of your wallet, I think is the question. Like, it's one of those where a thing of thread is like £1, but it's like if your project has like 53 different colors and you don't have all of them in your stash, like, that shit adds up, you know what I mean? So I think monochrome is definitely a good way forward. Well, a good starting point, you know what I mean? To make sure if you actually enjoy it before you invest in massive amounts of floss like I have. Okay, yes, we need the white one. That was what we were doing. So some of these have been used before. This is true, actually. In the grand scheme of things, it's a much smaller in terms of storage and smaller in terms of budget per project than I'm sure, especially like menswear and like tailored items, I would assume. Absolutely. Yeah, my mom and my grandma and my aunt, they're all quilters. And they have like massive fabric stashes, and it's one of those that, 1, I don't have any room for that here, and 2, like, that's expensive. But you can see here, like, I'll show you ones that I've not used before. Oops, these have just all come off. So like, for instance, this guy, no, that one's been used. This one. I'm really like, I don't know, I really enjoy bobbinating and I make them look all like pretty and stuff. This isn't really autofocusing, but that's fine. But then when I've used one and I have to like put other thread back, it like looks all janky and stuff, and it's not like as aesthetically pleasing, but hey man, we gotta do what we gotta do. Okay, let me put these all back together before I decided to throw them off the hoop. Okay, 3, you have a stash. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a few because there's like I've not done this a lot, but one of the things I experimented with last year was a different way to finish a cross stitch pattern outside of like a traditional hoop. So I actually made a pillow for my brother-in-law with a cross stitch panel in the center. So luckily my mom was visiting, and so we got fabric obviously to make these pillow forms. But now I have like a mini fabric stash, and that's definitely like in a drawer somewhere. But yeah. Okay, so now we're in reverse order here. So these are the current thread selection, albeit one. And this is for 6 different like little mini cross stitches. And it's definitely like giving Halloween vibes in terms of its like color scale. I don't know why this one is so muted in comparison to all the other ones, but maybe they needed something just to like be chill. Oh, you know what it is? It's for the corks. That makes sense. So if you look here, all of the finished project, they have like little corks, and that would explain why. Okay. So if all we really need is this guy, then we shall bobbinate some more. No, I have not watched it yet. Jazzy, have you watched the second one yet? I was meant to go potentially over to my friend's place on Sunday and watch it, but we went out the following night to a Disney brunch and didn't get home until like 11 o'clock at night, and so I needed to recover. No, not yet. I'm hoping, because my mother-in-law's coming over on Friday, and hopefully she hasn't watched it yet. I should message her and be like, don't watch Hocus Pocus 2 yet, so we can watch it together. Yeah. I've heard good reviews though so far, so I'm happy, like I'm excited about that. But yes, no, haven't watched it. And then I also don't know, to be fair, it wouldn't take too long to watch the original one and then follow it with the second one. Disney brunch was really cool. It was actually kind of funny as well, because my friends didn't realize that it was like kind of like dinner and a show. So I wouldn't really sort of call it a brunch. It started at 2 p.m. So I would call it like a lupper. So we basically, first of all, it took us like way too long to get into London because of the train strike. But once that was all sorted, it was all you can eat pizza and bottomless Prosecco for like 3 hours. And then sort of after you got your first little round of pizzas and things, then all of the like waiters and waitresses all like dressed up in costumes and performed a bunch of Disney songs. And a bunch of my friends were like, we just thought there was just gonna be like a speaker and they were just gonna be playing Disney songs for the next 3 hours. And I was like, guys, no, the website said there would be a performance. And I'm pretty sure like basically in London you have sort of like the Broadway equivalent in New York is called the West End in London. And so this particular bar was associated, like, it was near the West End. And so I'm 99% sure that all of the staff that were doing these performances are, like, working actors or people who have, like, come out to London to audition for West End productions. But obviously, while you're auditioning to be a theater performer, you also kind of have to, like, pay your bills and stuff. So it's sort of that, like, working actor stereotype is that you're like going for auditions and then you're working as a waitress or like as a whatever, because the voices on this staff was incredible, like top notch. And then even too, like they even had like little dancing, and there was this one girl who was like pirouetting and like pointing her toe, and I was like, little miss, you have some formal dance training. Like, this was an actual production, but it was like in the basement of this bar, so it was this weird thing. And then at one point, two things. I think the highlights were during, and the other thing too is they only performed songs that had been like Disney songs that were adapted into musicals, except for Moana. They did the Moana song, and I'm pretty sure that one's not been turned into a musical yet, but all the other ones, they did like A Whole New World, they did Aladdin, they did Lion King, they did Frozen, they did Mary Poppins, and those are already all successful like Broadway, off-Broadway, West End shows. So that was kind of cool. Liam downloaded it for me on his PC, and I absolutely need to play it. I think he's in the office tomorrow, so I might have access to his computer, so I should just spend all day playing it. I think that's what I should do. Yeah, it was really, really cool. And then the only thing though that was kind of awkward, obviously, is like everyone's performing, but they also still have to be our waiters and waitresses and like continue to refill the Prosecco and like refill the pizza and stuff. So there were some moments like there was like they're performing and stuff, and my friends are like, okay, we're starving, like where's the next round of pizzas? So I think they would do like a couple people would perform, and then the other ones would go off and go put all the pizzas in the oven and then come back out and do their song and then go back and get Prosecco for everyone. So yeah, but it was fun. But the two highlights for me were during the Circle of Life, someone came on with a with like a stuffed Simba and was like singing the Circle of Life, and then during there's sort of like an instrumental break in the middle of Circle of Life before it like kicks off. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where like all the animals are coming, and it's like before Rafiki like shoves Simba in the air and all of the animals cheer. There's a little like instrumental moment. And so then someone came out in a full like lion costume, like a lion mascot costume, and started dancing around the place, and the lion was like twerking and like doing splits and like jumping, and we were killing ourselves with laughter. We were howling at this lion who's like in this nice peaceful Circle of Life moment, absolutely giving 110%. It was incredible. We were like 10 out of 10. Like that was worth the money alone just for this like twerking lion mascot in the middle of the Lion King. It was incredible. And then another part too, which was like ad-libbed. It wasn't intentional. Oh yeah, the lion was twerking and they were very good at it. It's a bit ridiculous. And then what had happened was, at one point, I think the table beside us, they were bringing their drinks back to their table, and the woman accidentally dropped one of the glasses, and so there was water like all over the place. And so the waitresses came and they were cleaning it up. And like here, a lot of the paper towel, you can get like industrial paper towel rolls that are blue, so they're bright blue, and they were all wiping it up. But while this was happening, someone was performing How Far I'll Go from Moana. And you know how it's all about like, oh, the ocean and all this stuff. So at one point, the people who had finished wiping up the water went in front of the woman performing and stretched out the paper towel roll and started like waving it in front of them, making it look like waves. And I was like, that's like ad-libbing extraordinaire. So it was very, very impressive. But yeah, it was really good. The only downside, though, was that apparently, because we had a friend that couldn't come, and so they told our friend who had booked it that now we had like a credit that we could then use at the bar upstairs once the brunch was over. And when we got up there, the manager was like, but we're fully booked, we can't accommodate that. And we were like, well, we were told this. So I'll have to ask my friend if she got a refund, because they were basically like, well, you can put it towards like the next time you book. And they were like, well, that's not what we were told. So we were a little bit annoyed once we like finished the brunch and got upstairs afterwards, but I didn't care. I was like, that was fun. And then we just assumed we were going to go home afterwards, and it was like, nope. So we went to another pub, had more Prosecco, and then we were hungry, and we went and found some food and like made a whole day out of it. So what was meant to be like, you know, like a 3-hour little get together ended up being like I don't know, from like 2 to 11. So it was a pretty decent day. But it was really good fun because, like, as you get older, you know what I mean? Like, as you get older and your friends, like, have their own lives and, like, people get busy and stuff like that, it's really hard to find time to connect with everyone. And so it was really great to see people because there were some people that, like, I hadn't seen. I don't even remember the last time I've seen them. So it was really cool to actually, like, get to hang out with my friends for a little bit. Because it's one of those where I'm sure it won't happen again for another, like, few months. Which is a shame, but it's, like, that's what happens, you know? But yeah, so it was pretty good. And then, so while I was recovering on the Sunday, I then decorated. I had decorated for Halloween, hence the spooky tablecloth. So, I don't know if you can tell, the only problem though, and this will keep happening, is most of the spooky decorating happens down here. This is like our main living room sort of situation, living and dining room. But the wallpaper we have on here is like sort of textured, like it has a bit of an embossed pattern on it. And command strips and white tack do not like sticking to it for very long. But I also like don't want to just like stick or drill a bunch of holes in the wall for like temporary things. Because again, the UK isn't like Canada where you just have a timber frame and you can just like stick push pins and nails and stuff in the wall and like call it a day. It's like so difficult even just to get like a push pin in the wall that you usually go the like white tack route. Basically, this is a roundabout thing of me saying that I've put up all the decorations, but now every morning I have to go up and reattach the things that have fallen off the wall. So I have like a set of string lights that are attached by white tack and they fell off this morning, so I went and reattached them with the white tack. And I think it was my mother-in-law, she sent us a bunch of these like 3D like little plastic bats. I actually have them here. I'll show them to you. We'll take a little break. But these are this is like the leftover stash. And so these are these like little plastic bats. So they're just like little, I don't know, they're almost like, yeah, like just little thin plastic. And then you fold them up and they have like a bit of like 3D wing effect. And so they have these like double-sided tape, little sort of squishy things you use to attach them to the wall. And over the course of the day, we'll just hear like the tiniest little falling sound. And that's because like a bat's fallen off the wall and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's not always, this is basically what happens. So if things are on the wall, there is a chance they will fall off the wall. But you guys can kind of get like a little inkling from here. So this is the spooky Halloween tree. So I decorated that yesterday. This is sort of the centerpiece. We have our little mascot hanging behind the TV or behind the laptop right now. We have the mantelpiece that has a bunch of little ghosties on it. We have, you can't really tell, but below the clock, there's like lights that say trick or treat. And then this is the section over there with all the little black things. Those are all the little bats. And then this, actually I haven't updated it, but this is like a countdown calendar. So you move the pumpkin, like the jack-o'-lantern, over top of each day, counting down to Halloween. And then you can't really see, but over here, I have a bunch of like ghosts stuck to the wall. They're actually meant to be, like, they give you stakes and you can stick them in the ground, but they're so cute that I didn't want, like, Shadow or the foxes peeing on them, so I'm like, no, they're going on the wall instead. I'm not sticking them outside on the ground to, like, get ruined, because they're just too cute for that. So, that's what it is. But yeah, so, and then there's a few things in the kitchen, in the bathroom as well, because, I don't know, man, you just want to, again, I love a theme, so yeah, thank you. So that was fun. I still have bits and pieces, and then like cause I am throwing a baby shower next weekend that's practical magic themed, I think there's some pieces that will sort of move around. So I have the curtains drawn, but like behind the curtain I have a bunch of like kind of big potion bottles and things like that, and so those will be probably in the kitchen with like all of the food and things when that happens. So yes. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the setup. I still have like little things like other sets of lights and whatever, but they're all quite small and there's kind of not really a place to stick them. And I also maybe want to minimize the amount of stuff I'm sticking to the wall, because then it also minimizes the amount of times I am constantly putting things back on the wall. So we'll see. But yeah. I love all your little spooky emotes, Jazzy. They make me so happy. That's one of the things I want to do next year, is get a couple more emotes. Get a little ghosty one. Don't know if anyone else, so I'm trying to think what's happening now this weekend. So this is the only weekend that I have free now until the end of the year. Or not end of the year. God, I would like burn out so quickly. End of October. So I think we're gonna have like, well, I say chill. I need to tackle the front yard. Because remember how I told you guys I had a little freak out about how I thought my backyard was ugly? And then Liam and I did like a really big sort of cleanup, and now it looks a lot better and I'm fine. All the components of it aren't like finished, but we did enough that makes me feel like good. All your cats wearing like little pom-pom hats and stuff. I think you'll find some really cute ones. Little like kitty snowmen. Oh my god, little kitty snowmen? Yes, I think so. I think that, yes. I think it will be very easy to get cute little winter emotes. Absolutely. But yeah, so I'm much better about, I don't feel as concerned, but the front yard is looking a little haggard, so I think this weekend my plan is to tackle that. Mostly because I think I told you guys this, where we have a couple of terracotta pots on either side of our like front porch, and I think there was like a gust of wind, or yeah, there was. I was taking shadow for a W and I opened the door and a gust of wind took it and it smacked against this terracotta pot so hard that the whole pot just shattered. So I like walked, as it happened, I yelled at Liam, by the way, I broke the pot, see you later. And I haven't actually like picked the broken pot up. So we just have this like completely shattered pot with like just, I don't know, this like soily root conglomeration just chilling on our front porch. So I'm like, I could probably fix that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. I think because like it's trying to find the balance with like needing, because Shadow still needs to take it easy. He's recovering fine, like he's doing really, really well, but obviously I don't want to put him in any situations that would cause him to jump or cause him to, you know, do things like that. And so being outside, because our front yard isn't secure, we can't sort of let him out off lead to sort of help me garden, if you will. So I want to try to do that in a space where either like he's okay, or like someone else is home so that he has someone else he can hang out with while the other person is like doing work, and vice versa. So yeah, if he was like not recovering from surgery, I would have already done it, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know, as much as I think he's fine and everyone has told me that he's going to be fine, I'm like low-key trying to like not have any circumstances that could potentially jeopardize how well he is recovering. So I'm just a little bit, which is annoying because I feel like, but I think too, like part of me is trying to remember, because when we first got him, I was like super scared of like not, you know, leaving the house without him and him being upset and all these different things. And I've gotten much better about that. And I feel like I've kind of regressed a little bit since then. But I have to remind myself it is because he's had surgery, I'm pretty sure like once he gets the go ahead, we can take the cone off, it's fine. I won't be as upset or as concerned about like leaving him and things. It's just right now I'm like, I don't want to, you know, upset your progress, you know what I mean? So there we go. So aside from our floss and our extra Krennic sparkle braid, this is, yeah, right? I don't know, you can't see him right now, but he is over on the sofa. It was funny, the other day I could tell where he was because I could see the top of his cone, but I think he's situated himself in a way. So, thank you. Yeah, he's doing fine. We'll get back to normal in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so this is the first, well, this is this month's project color situation. To be fair, this is giving very Hocus Pocus vibes. Unintentionally, that's exactly what's happening, because we have like the green for the green for Bette Midler's character, and then like the purple for Sarah Jessica Parker, and the reddish for like Kathy Najimy. So this is giving very like Hocus Pocus-y vibes, which is really cool. So that further affirms to me that we picked the right project for this month. Not aside from the fact that it's literally in like the 2022 Halloween cross-stitch magazine. So we could have picked anything and it still would have been very on brand. But yeah. So the next project we need to acquire floss for. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna rearrange myself a little bit. Pop these there. Pop this color wheel over here. And then, so all of these are also gonna be the project, but we need to get the iPad out because the next project is a digital one. Look, you can check out my baby boy. See, if you've not seen, this is Shadow without the cone of shame in various iterations. It's my favorite. Makes me smile. Okay, so let's pull up the project and the floss list. So this is, it has a bunch of lines on it, so it's kind of, actually it's not that bad, but so this is, I think it's actually a free pattern. It is a free pattern. I found it on, I think it's, ooh, that's gonna bug me now. Let me find, let's give credit where credit is due. Let's see if they have it posted anywhere else. No. I think it's Stitchy Nova. Let me double check, because I do not want to. Yes, I believe so. Yeah. So they are at Stitchy Nova. That's them here. They do a bunch of free patterns. So this is their like Instagram link tree. So you can go and find their patterns that way. I think their personal account is Novocaine Doll. So yeah, so this is their pattern. Their Howl's Moving Castle pattern for our Studio Ghibli month. Oh, you guys will be happy to know. The most recent Studio Ghibli movie I watched, I didn't get sleepy and fall asleep during. Because they were saying I was getting a little bit annoyed with myself because I was I'm trying to watch subbed movies and I keep getting sleepy towards the end, and therefore I'm unable to read because my eyes keep closing. Right, Saul? I'm like, if you're still in chat, you'd be quite proud of me right now. So yes, I watched Ponyo and I stayed awake and I really enjoyed it. That one is definitely A tier. See, I now have a Ghibli conspiracy theory now a little bit. It's not a conspiracy theory, but I know a lot of people who are really into studio, like they tell me like, oh, I really like Studio Ghibli, and I'm starting to realize or theorize, do you like Studio Ghibli or do you just like Hayao Miyazaki? because he's one of the ones that has made a lot of the like standout films that everyone keeps referencing. Like everybody that I know, myself included, love Howl's Moving Castle. That's a Miyazaki film. A lot of people love, I think, Nausicaa. That's a Miyazaki film. And so there's other ones that are by other directors that are still under the Studio Ghibli umbrella, but people don't reference them as much. So I don't want to be that person or be a stickler, but I'm like, do you like Studio Ghibli or do you just like Hayao Miyazaki? You like a subsection of Ghibli. To be fair, they've usually been touted as being like the best ones that have come out of it, but you know, if I go around being like, well, have you seen all of them? This is me just turning into a Ghibli purist, which is dumb because I definitely am not, but I'm just curious and interested about that. You get sleepy with subs too. I'm glad we're on the same page, Chazzy. I'm the same, especially with, because Liam and I are watching Naruto, and I can only watch like 3 or 4 episodes before my brain starts to be like, okay, no, I'm not following anymore. Okay, so this is, like I said, this one here. CB said for Disney too. Absolutely, that's actually a really fair point. Yeah, where it's like, do you like Disney or do you just like animated Disney? Yeah. Yep. See Soul? Just rocking my worldview. Absolutely, it could be said for that. Because I think a lot of people associate Disney with animated Disney. Or it'll be like Pixar specifically or something like that. I don't know. Like, if I absolutely... See, I don't know now. I'm like, if I had to choose one or the other, if I had to, like, from my own personal existence, like, delete either, like, true Disney animation or Pixar animation out of my brain, which one would I be willing to part with? And originally, my brain was like, well, obviously, like, I would choose animated Disney over Pixar. But some of the last few Pixar movies, like Turning Red, I was super, super into. So, and I think Inside Out is Pixar, and I love Inside Out. So I'm not, I think that'd be a bit of a tricky discussion. So, yeah. So this is, like I said, with some of these, the user-generated lists or the user-generated patterns. The floss list is not in alphabetical order. I think it might be in more like color order, numerical order, sorry. I don't know why this doesn't focus, and it makes me really sad. Sort of, kind of. But anyway, just trust my word for it. It's not a numerical order, so we're going to be jumping around a little bit more. So, we need... Let me just check. Let's take stock of what we have. I'm trying to think what other ones. I guess you could say the same thing with, like, well, I feel like this happens with Marvel stans and with, like, Star Wars stans, where if you go, oh, I'm into Marvel, and you're just into, like, the MCU, I feel like people who are, like, super, like, comic book Marvel stans would be like, you're not actually a Marvel fan, or you are, but, like, in this niche version of that. So, yeah. This is just bringing up, like, a bigger topic of, like, gatekeeping. Like, who can be a fan of something? You must be, like, so invested in all aspects of it in order to be a fan, or can you just, like, casually be a fan and not make your whole personality and be okay with it? You know? There are different degrees of fandom, and everyone is included. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't know. It's that meme. What is it? I think it's like, who's the guy's, I don't know what his last name is. The guy named Adam, who makes a bunch of comics on, like, Facebook and things like that. And he had this one where he just, like, went up to somebody and it was like, let people enjoy things, you know? Like, don't make it a big to-do. Like, don't get all, like, you know, grumpy about whatever. No actually's in the house. See, I'm getting angry at myself for even being like, maybe you're a fake Ghibli fan. Like, Tasha... Shut up. Who cares? You can say you love Studio Ghibli and only like Hayao Miyazaki films, and that doesn't make you any less of a Ghibli fan than someone who likes the entire cinematic universe of Ghibli. There we go. I'm just telling past Tasha off for trying to be a gatekeeper. I'm like, we don't gatekeep in this house. Absolutely not. Everyone can enjoy everything. I'm so angry. I'm like spitting all over my stuff. Okay. Let me figure out what we need. Okay. So 9, 3, 9 is this one. What is this? 3, 3, 7, 1. No, so we must have that in here. It is 3, 3, 7, 1. Right here. There we go. Okay, 4, 7, 3, 7, 40 is this guy. And remember, we are gonna run out of bobbins, which is annoying. I could be... Ooh. If I go get some whiteout, then I could white out some of my 310 bobbins and write a different number on there. That might look janky as shit, but it's a good way to... It's only 2. It'll be fine. I don't need... like 10 310s. I just need a few, and I can always re-up them. It's fine. Okay, I think that's what we'll do. I'll have to go and get some. I remember I needed to get whiteout, and I didn't know what it was called in the UK. So I remember this is when I was working, and I remember asking my colleagues, being like, okay guys, if I can't find this at like WH Smith's and I have to ask for it from a worker, I don't want them to look at me like I'm absolutely bonkers. What is the name of like whiteout in the UK? Basically, and they were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you know the liquids corrector stuff that you put over top of pens when you've made a mistake? And they were like, Tipex. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have clocked that. I think because whiteout, similar to Tipex, is like the brand. But yeah, I had a full-on thing being like, guys, you gotta tell me the British version of this so I don't look stupid if I have to ask for it at the shop. Because every once in a while, you'll go to ask for something, they'll be like, that doesn't exist here. And I'm like, it does exist here, but it obviously has a different name. What is the name of it? But yeah, so Tipex. If you need whiteout and you're in the UK and you've never heard of it, it's called Tipex. That's my translation to you. Yeah. Maybe it has other names. Yeah, exactly. That's why I had to ask. I was like, I don't know if, like, I would have said to the shopkeep, do you have any whiteout, if they would know what that is. So just to cover my ass and not embarrass myself, I had to get clarification before I went to the store. But yeah, so Tipex. Anyway. Okay. 3857. 3857. Let's scooch these over. 3857. 3790. That's this guy here. 926. We must have that one. It's not in this one. Pop that up there for a second. Okay, 926. I think is via this one. Yeah, 926 is this guy. What else do we need? 632. There we go. 3356. Don't know if I have like low level dyscalculia. Like I don't think I actually do, but like sometimes I stare at numbers and I have to focus really, really hard to make sure I'm actually saying out loud the numbers that I'm visually seeing in my brain. So I'm like, what? Okay. 6. Okay. 3, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah. So we need this, and we need that one over here. We need this guy over here. This one here, 3, 5, 6. So you can see, obviously, because this is Howl's Moving Castle, how like gray scale it is, because it's the actual castle itself. So it's gonna be a lot more muted of a project than our like brightly colored Halloween themed one, which is fun and exciting. Just like different color palettes, you know what I mean? It's always nice to like do different things in terms of color stimulation. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. Okay, 729. That's this guy here. And 3, 6, 4, 2 right there. And then we need 7, 4, 2 and 7, 3, 9. Okay. 7, 3, 9 is there. 7, 4, 2. Okay, no, 7, 4, 5. I was gonna say, I was about to pull out an orange, and I'm like, there is no way in hell that's belonging in this. 7, okay. See what I mean, guys? This is my brain. 7, 45. That's the one we're looking for, which is this guy, which makes a little bit more sense. And I'm gonna grab, no, I think I should be fine. So, what we're gonna do is we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. We'll sacrifice some old 310 bobbins for the cause. Ooh. Now, just give me 2 ticks. Talk amongst yourselves. I know an ad just played, so I don't want to be an asshole and run another ad. I'm just going to go run upstairs and get some Tipex. BRB. Be nice to each other. Talk amongst yourself while I'm gone. Get a cup of tea, get a tea break, get a snack. I don't know. Live your best life. BRB. And we're back. I did press the button, but obviously didn't press it hard enough. Thank you so much, Saul. So yeah, someone got upset that I went upstairs without him, so he came off the sofa and needed to investigate. And I don't know why his back is turned. It's not because he's pouting. Maybe he is. But there he is, Mr. Shadow in his cone of shame. Is there a thing they keep saying that, like, when dogs present their butt to you, that means they trust you, because that's the furthest part away from their teeth. So we just assume that he trusts us, and that's why his butt is currently to us, not because he's pouting. That's what it is. But what I said while I was muted, even though I did press the button, was I'm sorry I put so much pressure on you guys to do so much while I was gone. But I'm back now. Here is the Tipex, known as whiteout in the rest of the world. Well, in the rest of the English-speaking world. I don't know what it is in different languages. Okay. We do not need this anymore. I think for my peace of mind, I'm also going to put these in numerical order because it stresses me out that they're not. Because I don't think that'll be a problem. As long as I know that they're in a different order. Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. We'll bobbinate and then we'll organize. That's what we'll do. Okay, so let's Tipex these bad boys. And then we'll put these on here just as little placeholders to show these have already been bobbinated. Okay. So that's the current bobbinated stash. This is the to be bobbinated. Those go here. This goes here for now. Let you guys see the colors that we're gonna be working with. This one's broken. Maybe we choose, I wanna choose one that isn't completely deteriorated. We have a few options. It's only because they're paper, so they're quite thin at the like hole section, so over time the hole rips, and then it makes it harder for them to live on a key ring. So we're gonna swap it out for one that is still intact for the purposes of this. Not that they're not on their last legs, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, corrector fluid. That's the official non-name brand version of that. There's tons of different languages of this. Corrector fluid. Look at this, there's all these different languages on here. I don't know why I'm just suddenly fascinated by this. So in French, it's called caractère fluide blanc. Bien agité avant usage. I'm assuming D is for Deutsch. Corrector fluid weiß. Yeah, because that's white in German. Vor Gebrauch gut schütteln. Don't know what the other one's in. NL. I don't know what language that would have been. Netherlands? Is that meant to be like... Because this is Deutsch as in German. They didn't want to have Dutch be this one. I don't know what I is. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it. I haven't used this in such a long time. And then it's always one of those things too where it goes on real gloopy and then sometimes it doesn't, and then you end up like with a big mess. So let's hope we don't have a big mess, and we'll leave it. Oh, it stinks too. It's okay. We're recycling. We're not. There we go. There we go. It is Dutch. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Thank you for confirmation, Saul. Okay. Let's sponge the corrector fluid on here. There we go. Those will dry while we're bobbinating our other ones. Oh, it stinks. Let me get comfy. Let's do a little self-induced posture check. Have a sip of tea. Check on Conehead over there. He's looking fine, feeling sorry for himself. He's past the halfway mark of his like initial set of recovery time. So they tell you 10 days with the cone. So hopefully he's recovering well enough that he can take it off after the next 5 days. Okay. We are GMC. Let's do 729. Actually, what we'll do, because then we'll leave like drying time in between, is I'll write these down. Put that there. Give that a little bit of time to dry, because every once in a while I will accidentally like smush one while I'm bobbinating, and that's not cute. So, okay. This music's giving me very Ghibli vibes right now. You could be Italian, by the way? As in, like, unconfirmed, or... Oh! Oh! Oh my god, I completely forgot. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh my god. I legit just thought you were dropping like an ancestry bombshell on me. Like, are you concerned about, like, did you just find out something about your heritage, Saul, you'd like to share with the class? Right, you meant the I on the Tipex bottle. Yeah, no, that actually does make a lot of sense. Yeah. Bianco for white. Coratore liquido. Yeah, liquido. Yeah, that definitely reads Italian to me, definitely. I don't know what, because GR, I don't know what GR would be, because this kind of looks not like Cyrillic, but it's not your standard alphabet. Of course, this is not. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad I could make your day. Yeah. You can tell, you know, I'm just great. Definitely, 100%. Yep. Okay, so we have French, German, Dutch, Italian, and Greek. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Oh. The headquarters, Bic World, is in France. And there's also a Swiss version in Switzerland. Interesting. Yeah, it's corrosive, it's bad for the environment. I'm like, no shit, if you smelt it. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me, I have my visa. I have a right to be here, Saul. I have a right to use Tipex. Also, je suis parle en français un peu, so I could, like, struggle bus through the French portion, therefore, you know, making it appropriate for me. It's right at the front! These are the, like, side languages. This one just says Tipex Rapid. I guess rapid means the same as for pouvoir, couvrant, perfect decend. Extra decend. Extra decend. It sounds like I'm saying something else. It's made in Malaysia as well. So this is such an international little bottle. Sounds like British English. Okay, it's true. If they mixed the French and the British together in some sort of like Fringlish situation, that would be more Canadian as a general rule. Yeah. Okay. DMC 632. Yeah. It is, honestly. Well, in colonized Canada. Let's be very clear. There are Indigenous peoples of Canada that are not those things. But yes, for the colonized version. That's why we have 2 official languages. 3, 7. Ready? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. DMC 3, 8, 5, 7. Oops. This is a really pretty color. This like sort of like plum rusty color. I don't know if it's translating very well on the webcam, but I quite like it. It's like not, I was kind of thinking, because I always like to think of them in concept of like nail polish that I own. I'm like, do I have a nail polish color this color? Not really. I think the closest equivalent I have is a bit more purpley than this, but I would like a color like this. I would. Okay. We'll leave these off to the side now, because I'm pretty sure all of these are dry. All these are, wait. All the bobs are dry, the bobbins are dry, and the sky is gray, and the sky is gray. I feel like these are very autumnal colors as well. So the Mamas and the Papas, California Dreamin' seems very appropriate. Like that's like what this color palette is to me. It's 1970. I think that song's from the 70s. I feel like this is very autumnal 70s color palette, California Dreamin'. That's what I think. If I could associate a cross-stitch color palette with a song and an era, that would be a fun thing. Like, you know, people have those like different challenges where they'll be like, oh, give me an aesthetic and I'll give you like an album or whatever. Be like, give me a like DMC floss color palette and I'll give you an album. Or like a time of year or a song associated with like a color palette. I think that would be a really cool trend. I feel like my musical lexicon isn't like broad enough to have anything interesting to say. But it'd be interesting to try to craft like a pop punk palette. A pop punk palette, a triple P with DMC floss colors. There'd obviously be a lot of like 310 in there, but then there'd probably be like bright pops of red, probably even maybe even like a hot pink if we're going for like pop punk with like slight emo vibes. Maybe that'd be interesting. Maybe like, what color palette is this genre of music? This is 70s folk music. You cannot change my mind. Jazz. Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, there'd definitely be a lot of even like colors like this, but maybe even like a bit more vibrant as well. I guess if we're doing like big band jazz, or are we doing like smoky bluesy like club jazz, you know what I mean? Because then I feel like it would be like a lot of golds and a lot of maybe like dark blues and some like gray and stuff. That's what I see like jazz, like lounge club jazz, you know? I feel like big band jazz might be a little brighter. Like it would be like those colors, but like not the muted version of that, the brighter version of that. Ooh, electro pop funk. Cause that has some like jazz kind of elements are as well. I think that would definitely, it would be sort of more like pop art. So I would think of like, Oh, who's that? Like the Andy Warhol pop art paintings would sort of give me that vibe. So like a color palette that's like a really electric blue and maybe like a bright pink, but then like some sort of like a navy or things like that to sort of like ground it a little bit. I like this. This is a fun game. Country and Western opera. You're just like putting in like a random genre generator on the internet, aren't you? You're like, is that even a thing? Name me one country Western opera artist. To be fair though, I feel like opera also has like a lot of sort of jeweled tones, and then country would be a lot of like browns and golds and like rusty colors. So I think if you put like a really deep red, like a deep burgundy red, that would be like the opera portion, and then put a bunch of like browns and tans and stuff in there. It's like basically the color palette of like a Jack Daniels bottle. With like, I don't know, like draped in like velvet or something. Off to brunch. Ooh, enjoy brunch. Have an amazing day, Jazzy. What is this? Go West, the opera by Hank McPherson. What sort of B-cut is this? Let me look. Okay, let's paste. What is this? What is this called? I don't know, I googled it and it doesn't seem to want to give me any information about it. The only thing I'm getting when I type in Go West... Okay, because the only thing I'm getting when I type in Go West is the song by the Village People, so... Okay, cool. Pet Shop Boys. No, the Village People. Are you saying the Pet Shop Boys are... country? No. I know, the Pet Shop Boys sound familiar to me. Ooh, they're a pop duo. What song? What's their famous song? Yeah, that's synth pop. Oh, do they do a version of the Village People song? It said Go West Pet Shop Boys though, so I wonder if they cover it. That would be wild. There's like an electropop version of a Village People song. That's not too far off. Yeah. Liam went to go get more medicine for Shadow, so if you hear him being real whiny about it, it's because his bestest friend has left him, so. You did, though. I was like, hey man, I trust Saul to like know some like weird niche stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're just kind of one of those people who like would be really good in like a trivia game, because you would just have like random factoids about like the most obscure shit, and I would be like 100% I believe you. I'm like, Saul just knows things, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have put it past you. That's a dangerous superpower that you have over me. The fact that I'm just like, yeah, Saul thinks it, or Saul said it, so it must have some validity to it. Don't abuse your power, Saul. Don't do it. Okay, let's continue bobbinating. Yeah, he'll be back soon, dude. Shadow. Hello. I know. Liam's gone to go get you more medicines. Yes. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah, honestly. You could make that shit up, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you could have done it in a way that would have me have not thought that by reading that sentence. I don't know. We're just having a bit of a day, aren't we? Oh, so funny. I'll have to remember to clip that.
Since this promises to be a most dire and stressful evening, I suggest we form a calming circle. I am Cal!
That's me. No chill about this. I forgot I had that on there. I appreciate that reading because I quite enjoyed that. Speaking of Hocus Pocus. Like, I am perfectly chill. I don't know about you, but I am cool as a cucumber. Cool as the other side of the pillow. Calm and collected. Trying my best. Just bobbinating away. I saw, because I was looking for different prizes for the baby shower that Liam could 3D print. And I was just like looking at random stuff on a few like public domain websites for 3D printing options, and I found like a bobbinator. Oh, baby boy. Yeah, like a 3D printed bobbinator, and I would keep thinking like people have like little tools and stuff that you can use to bobbinate thread, but I quite enjoy this process. I'm gonna go open the door and let the bubba out. Just give me 2 ticks. I'm as cool as an Italian country western. Honestly, I was convinced. Yes, 1 second, dude. I'm coming. BRB, guys. Made sure I pressed the microphone demute button firmly enough. I don't actually know what the correct term is. I use the term bobbinate. I guess it's like bobbin threading. Would you call this threading? I don't know, because I feel like threading is like when you're sticking thread like through the eye of a needle or something. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I say bobbinate, bobbinator too, Judgment Day, you know. All the bobbinations. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just an easier term than saying I am currently wrapping my floss on a bobbin. The verbiage of that is now bobbinate. it's gonna get chilly. I left the door open so Shadow could come in when he decided he wanted to. I'm waiting for his best friend, but that means it's gonna get cold. Rise of the Bobinator, exactly. Oh, I think it might almost be time for granola bar break, or at least a tea break. We'll see. We'll finish this bobbin. We will assess the situation. We'll see if our Tipex is dry and we can write the numbers of the outstanding floss that we need. Oh, exciting news too, guys. We've officially funded the project goal on Ko-fi. Ko-fi. On Ko-fi. I had a, I guess, goal to raise enough funds to cover the cost of the next 2 months streaming cross-stitching supplies, and we have 100% of that. So thank you to everyone who contributed. I really appreciate you. Yeah. Do you think the chairman of the bobble hat company is called the head bob? Yes. Instead of like, what is it, the Grand Poobah, it's like the Grand Baba. Booba. He is Sir Bobbleton of the Bobblenators. Oh no, we have a knot. It's not an official knot, it's just a... Hello. You gonna sit and wait? Yeah? Head of a chair company is called the chairman, man. No, I think he's just called the chairman. There's no second man. The chairman. There we go. Another one successfully bobbinated. Check out that color aesthetic at the moment. Sounds like a dance. The chairman. Definitely. I'm sure it already exists on TikTok somewhere. It's some like chair dance challenge. The cha-cha man, absolutely. Okay, let's have a wee snack break. The Tipex ones seem dry, but I want to leave them to like the very last second. Yeah. You sure you're not a jingle writer? Yeah. Granola. Grananola. Nola. Grananola. It's my jam. Honestly, granola bars have been a lifesaver for me. It's a quick and easy snack. And I know, like, I'm sure when you crunch the numbers, they're maybe not like the best nutritionally dense for you, but they're much better than like eating candy and stuff all the time, which I do also do on stream, but my candy pumpkin stash is upstairs right now, and I don't feel like going all the way up and getting that. And it also doesn't satiate me the same way granola bar does. This is also a really pretty color. I'm quite liking this one. What is this? There we go. Now we could go so far is after we've done bobbinating everything, we can get a floss organizer and start cutting the floss for the upcoming project and sticking it in the project organizer. That is something we can do next. If we, I don't know, if we need to. Because we have what? We have four bobbins left to wind. And we got like an hour and 20. I don't think it's gonna take an hour and 20 to bobbinate 4 bobbins, but we'll see. Maybe some crazy shenanigans will happen, and that'll take up all of our time. Who knows? Who knows?
It's tea time.
Oh, thank you for that tea reminder, Saul. Huh. It's a little bit chilly now. It's cold tea, but that's alright. It's still good. I'm quite enjoying it. There we go. Batten down the hatches. And I can swap for cold beverage. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Yeah, we have a few of these. I think it's because a couple Easters ago they had like cream egg packs, and I think it was like you could, I don't know if you got like a massive chocolate egg that then had like cream eggs in it or something, and it like sat in the mug. So we have these ones, and then we also have like yellow, I don't know what the other color is, like maybe like yellow and purple ones, and then we have red and purple ones. I know, right? Non-spawn, but could you imagine? I don't think Cadbury or cream eggs sponsor people. Could you imagine? I don't think they need that. They don't need the ad boost. I'd love to be sponsored by cream eggs. Especially when they decide to become goo eggs for Halloween. To be fair, I think that's such a clever marketing ploy because people love, well, I don't know if everyone does. Cadbury cream eggs are really overwhelming. You need like a coffee or like a bitter tea to sort of cut how sweet they are. But it's a clever marketing move on their part to be like, how can we bring gooey, sugary goodness all year round? And I know it's not all year. It's for like 2 seasons, but I do appreciate that. Though I was a bit annoyed because I thought that they were going to make them like the goo inside green. And they didn't do that. It's basically just a Cadbury cream egg, but the foil around it like looks like Frankenstein or looks like a ghost. So they didn't try that hard to really make them spooky, but we'll give them that. just realized, because usually when I floss prep, I need a pencil to mark out. Ooh, there is one here. Okay, cool. There's like random... Actually, I have a bunch of spooky pencils. None of them are sharpened. Ooh, one of them is sharpened. Could use a spooky pencil. But we have a few different pencils. Because I erased the old ones and then put the new ones on top. It's not a perfect system, but it works. To be fair, a bunch of those, the floss for the new projects, have been used, so I don't even think we'll have to do that much cutting. We can just like use a lot of what is already been wound back on the bobbin, which is nice. Ooh. There we go. Hopefully, we don't actually run out of a color. If we do, though, we can obviously go and get more, but like that would be a real pain in the ass. Yeah, just keep bobbing it. Just keep bobbing. Just keep bobbing. So like I mentioned, I posted the stream schedule. There is a few places where you can access it. I'll tell you what's happening this week anyway. But on... Did I spell that correctly? That's where I'm most likely going to post things. So I posted the stream schedule for the week. I also managed to remember to stick it on my Discord, so that was good. So today we're doing this. Thursday and Friday we're going to be needle felting. We're going to be trying, actually I'm hoping within the 2 sessions we can probably finish them, which would be awesome. Is we're going to make a cute needle felted ghost based off of, let me pop this down and get the reference picture. I've mentioned this a few times that I found this like ceramic ghost at Michael's and I couldn't justify bringing him home, but I thought he would be an excellent template to make a spooky needle felted ghost. So that's what we're going to try to recreate in needle felting form. Thursday and Friday. And hopefully we'll just take those 2 days and we'll be able to finish him. Finish him. Because then we're going to do, I want to do like pumpkin needle felting as well. I don't know if I want to turn them into jack-o'-lanterns yet or not. I'm not sure. But we have those upcoming. And then there's going to be a few days that I'll have off due to previous commitments. And like I've told you guys, my best friend from Canada is coming to visit it for 5 days. So we're going to be doing that. So that'll obviously impact the stream schedule. But doesn't mean that we can't do hella spooky stuff on the days that we get a chance to. That's the plan. So there we go. This is such a pretty color. I also do have a couple of like Flashback Friday Halloween themed games as well. So I found a Nightmare Before Christmas Game Boy Advanced game emulator that we're gonna play, as well as a Game Boy, just standard Game Boy Addams Family game. So we'll hopefully get a chance to play those this month as well. Get back to some Flashback Friday content. All the fingers and toes crossed that the internet won't crap out on me like it did the last time we tried to play video games. But other than that, and then, you know, when my Ada and my sparkly thread eventually arrive in the mail, then we can get to spooky cross stitch. Something so satisfying about bobbinating. I remember, I think my brother-in-law was watching me do it because I remember it was when I was still working, so I think I had it was my Disney cross-stitching book, and I literally ordered every single floss color that I needed to do all of the projects in that book. So I got a huge stash that I needed to bobbinate, and so I brought them over to my in-laws' place. And my brother-in-law was watching me, and he was like, most people I see just like haphazardly just get it all on the bobbin, whereas I'm like, no, I like to, you know, line it up, and which might explain, you know, why it takes me so much longer to do this, but it's just, you know, it's like mindful bobbin winding, you know what I mean? Like, just being chill about it. Good now, bud. Your best friend's home. You're home safe. The nice thing too is when you do like bobbinate it in a certain way, and then you just have a little tail to tuck behind the bobbin, because sometimes I don't time it right, and then the tail is too long or too short to be wrapped around another time, but too long that it just like hangs off the top, and again, it's not as nice to look at. So this is much better. Let's take another. So this is our current color palette here. Again, these are not in chronological order currently, but they will be by the time we're done. And then we can showcase our drastically different color palettes for the next couple of projects. You all right over there? Don't know if he was given a treat and then he can't like get the rest of the scraps because they've fallen down, and then like he can't get his cone far enough past to get it. So I don't know if he's struggling right now. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for sticking around, Saul. I appreciate you so much. I'm glad I can make you laugh. Thank you for making me laugh at my own like ridiculousness. And I'll definitely be chatting to you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah! Have you figured it out yet, bud? You know what this makes me want to watch now? Because we're getting sort of like jazzy vibes. Over the Garden Wall. I think that is in need of a rewatch this week. For sure. The soundtrack alone. Just for the soundtrack alone, if anything. That's another thing I should look up, is Over the Garden Wall cross stitches. That might be next spooky season's project. So I'm sure there are people like me who are spooky all year round, are also like wholesome Over the Garden Wallness all year round. So maybe it happens whenever. There we go. He's finally chilling. There you go. There he is. Mr. Man in his cone of shame. So forlorn. It's his MacGyvered one. The one that we spent like all Thursday concocting. Because the one he came home with from the vet was massive. And then the one that we got him online wasn't long enough or tight enough. So we needed to make some amendments and basically like Franken combine the cones to make something that works for him. And so far it does. The only thing is that the fabric cone we think gets really, like it gets really hot. So when we go in there and like give him neck scratches and stuff, it always feels quite roasty toasty in there. So that's the only downside. But he can relax with it on, so that's good. That's the main thing. He like refused to lay down with this massive cone on him, so we're like, there's no way he's gonna like comfortably recover if he has to try to wear this thing. So luckily. Posture check. Put this down a little bit. There we go. You either obscure the top of my face or the bottom of my face. That's just how we roll. There we go. Now we can see each other. This, we have 2 more, and then we'll start prepping the floss for our October project. So we've bobbinated, we've organized the colors. Now it'll be about like cutting the strands of floss into the organizer. Just so that literally as soon as the fabric arrives, we are like prepped and ready to go. I'll have to cut the fabric down to size, but like that can be done. So there will still be fabric preppage, but all of the floss will be prepped and ready to go. I feel like that's the part that takes the longest anyway. God forbid that it doesn't arrive, we can probably, I think, maybe work on the cryptids, just because we haven't really touched that project for a while. And that's like spooky-ish. It's like, you know, Halloween adjacent horror stuff. So that's all right there. I'm just gonna check to see if the door is still open. If not, I'm gonna close it. So just, again, BRB, guys. I'm gonna go sort that out because I'm cold. Okay, sorted. I did close the door. Hopefully that'll help my knees warm up. I need to wear my leg warmers again. Again, it was super mild out today, but of course, because it gets darker and things earlier, I think we're starting to wind down in terms of like the temperature right now, so it's getting a little chilly. Dry. There we go. Here. And hopefully the Tipp-Ex doesn't make it difficult for the ink on this to dry. I don't even know what this is I think it's focusing on the tablecloth. That's kind of annoying, but whatever. We're going with it. Stay in frame, Tasha. Oops. Whoops. Oh, see, this is gonna be a long one. It's not enough. Damn. Maybe I can undo and see if I can. Go. Maybe. No, it's still gonna be. Wah wah. See what I mean? I'm like, ding. Oh well. That's alright. Okay, one more. And then we organize. And then we figure out what we want to do next. Here's our final floss to bobinate. Here is the current color palette. This is the last one. Add it to the stash. Let's find the end. There it is. There's usually like an internal end and an external end. Try to find the external one, or else then it like, I don't know, I find it gets, the chance of it getting all twisted in and of itself is a lot harder when you're, or is a lot easier when you're wrapping from like the inner bit of thread. So I always try to find the outer one, but it's not always how it works. Okay, don't break. We decided to sacrifice 2 of our empty 310 bobbins, put some Tipp-Ex over it, and rename them so that we could bobbinate all 8 of our colors for today. Because I always hate when like you plan a task and you can't like finish the task if the task is like just like something like this, like bobbinating. It's like if I had to stop because I didn't have 2 bobbins, like that's such a pain in the butt. Also too, because it's not like, I don't know, I could go pick some up, but it's like, I don't know, it's not like a simple quick fix. So the renaming of the other bobbins was the quicker of the options. So that means we can actually get it all done today. So I think because the fabric has been dispatched, it's currently with the Royal Mail. I think their next strike, I don't know, I saw something on their website. Actually, let's look it up right now. When is the next Royal Mail strike? Because that might be helpful for other people as well. Damn. I just ordered something for Liam's birthday, and like I literally ordered it before stream started, and it's already like been dispatched. Damn. Shit works fast. Okay. When is it? The 13th, the 20th, and the 25th. Okay, well, hopefully it arrives. Yeah. Hopefully it arrives by the end of the week. 13th, the 20th, and the 25th. So basically, not this week, but one day every week for the end of October. Just an FYI. But that gives me hope that, you know, things will arrive before next week. Because the strikes aren't happening until the 13th. So we got a week for that shiz to happen. Which is good too, because hopefully I still have one outstanding order of prizes for the baby shower that I'm throwing on Saturday. And that has been dispatched. I think it's coming from either Wales or Ireland, so it's not like it's coming from the States or anywhere, so it should theoretically not take too long. Knocking on all the wood that everything arrives on time. But if not, it'll just be IOU. You know what I mean? It'll be like, you have won a prize. The prize has not arrived yet. You will get it when you get it. You can't, like, I don't know. I can't fuss it. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's plenty of things that I could get anxious about and work myself into a tizzy over. And I can't stop things from taking, you know? Can't stop people from striking, you know? Can't stop systems that we rely on from being, you know, disrupted. So you just gotta roll with it. It's actually weird so far. Like, I've had a bit of anxious energy today. I think I am a bit nervous, like, because I have this week/weekend off that I'm almost like, oh my god, I should be like doing something, prepping something. But because I did sort of everything else so far in advance, literally the only thing left to do is sort out food, and obviously you don't want to get things until closer to the day because you don't want things to go off beforehand. I do need to trial test one, making virgin midnight margaritas, and I also need to test making sheet pancakes because I'm gonna cut them out with a cactus cookie cutter. If you know, you know. But yeah, so aside from doing a couple like food tests, everything else is pretty much done. So it's a weird feeling to, you know, it's like this weird thing where like I feel like I'm such an anxious person, but so I want to try to get things done ahead of time so that I'm not like worrying and freaking out about them so close to the day. But it's almost like because things are done and prepped so early, I then get anxious that I'm missing something. Like everything is sorted. It's like sometimes the eerie calm of having your shit together can be just as anxiety inducing as like the deadline of something getting closer and closer and you haven't like started figuring something out yet. And, like both can be stressful. So just to remind myself, you know, you just gotta like do positive self-talk. Like, you got this, everything is fine, like everything's gonna go well, don't worry about it. So yeah. Let's hope we have a nice short tail to end this guy. We don't know if we will. Dang it. It's not as long as the last one though. We'll take it. We will take it. Okay, now let's... I should probably, as much as I wanted to organize them in numerical order, it probably will be easier for my brain to not get confused if I put them in order of what is listed in the pattern, despite the fact that it's not numerical order. So let's do that. Okay. This is the list. These are the flosses. So we need, oh, this is a fun little, okay, 3, again, like low-level dyscalculia almost. 939. We need 3371. 3371. 3740. 3857. 3857. 3790. 926. 636. 32. 356. 729. 3864. This guy, and then this guy. Okay, so that is the official order as dictated. So this is the color palette for November. So we'll, if we bring this up a bit, then you can see this is the November color palette. And this guy is the October color palette. So as you can see there is some like common ground. Obviously we have some lighter colors, we have a bit of like the oranges and stuff, but the greens and purples and things are definitely a stark difference. This is almost like the muted version of this though, because we have like a grayish green, we have a bit of a purple, a bit of like a reddish orange. This is a bit of like a rust color, and then obviously this is very comparable to some of the ones in here. So it's like they're sort of, you know, thematically similar. And then we also add these sparklies in there. These are both the same color, but I'm not sure how much I'm gonna need. To be fair, probably not very much. We probably just need the one. And then there will be a purple one of this sort of shiny Krennic being added to the fold. So we have a few more minutes. We can start prepping via this thing. The floss itself for the project. So for that, we don't really need this. I don't really need to prep these guys, so we'll stick those over here. So we need this, and we need a pencil. And then we also need the pattern. So each of the colors have their corresponding DMC color. I'm sorry this is so blurry. I literally don't know how to autofocus this. Anyways, there is symbols associated with the projects. So we then will color or write the symbols down on here and then put those on there so we don't get confused and we know what's going on. Sound good? Sound like a plan? Just realized, where are my scissors? Let me get my scissors. They're just over here, I believe. Yep. Oh. Very cognizant of the fact that like this tablecloth hangs over the side of this, and I don't want to like pull my entire project down by sitting on it wrong. Okay, let's do this. So how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. just start here. So we have a triangle, a colored in square, an X. Hello, shadow. This little guy here, sort of like a diagonal arrow situation. A star. Dollar sign. A half colored in circle. A heart. A like L-shaped Tetris piece. And a line. Cool. Perfect. We do this in order here. So you can see that a bunch of these have already been like pieces that were on something like this have been rebobinated back onto the bobbin, but they're already pre-cut, so we can just add those to this. To be fair, it might just be this singular thread might be the only one of this color. They're quite small pieces, so I really just kind of want to do like one like one strand each sort of thing, just to start, because it's not even like all of the colors are used in the entire project, so I don't think we'll need very much of each. So if we, especially considering that, yeah, don't even need to make it that long, I think, because I think these is 2/2. Using one strand. Cross stitch over one square using one strand of floss. Interesting. We'll see how small the 8 is when I get it, because we're not using perforated paper, so we might still use 2 strands. Can't imagine just using 1 strand, so we'll see. I think we'll end up using 2, but that's fine. Okay, and then the square is this guy. Ooh, we've not actually cut from this one before, so that's fine. Oops, wrong way. I haven't used any from this, but it's fine. I usually do like an arm's width length of floss as a baseline when I cut for the project. So that's what we're doing today. Another fresh bobbin. Untouched until now. An uncut bobbin. this one, this bobbin here, this 606 is an absolute mess. So we can definitely take from this guy. There is hella floss on here that we can. This one's quite short, so I think we'll take, I don't know, whatever the next few are. Because in looking at the project, so it stars. Yeah, there's very little. I think these will be very small projects, so I think just those two might be okay. I know it's not a full strand, but we'll do one more. They're already pre-cut, just to be on the safe side. And then we'll, because this is the whole 6 strands, so that should be fine. Because each strand of thread contains like 6 little threads to create a strand. So obviously if you're doing like 2 strands, you're separating the thread out to 2. So sometimes when things have been rebobinated, they're not in their full 6-strandedness. They're like bits and pieces of that. Here is our brand new 702. I think this is the color that I wanted for my collab with MakerBug, and they didn't have it in stock that day when I went to pick it up. So I used a different color for the project that we did together. But this was the true color that I wanted the whole time. Next green, which I think, yeah, we have a few. Oh, that's a tiny piece of thread. Don't even know if that's worth salvaging, but we'll put it down here. So by the time you fold it in half, you can only really do like 2 stitches, but it's all good. As long as that one doesn't go anywhere. Sometimes I find when you're prepping and you have little pieces of thread that you leave, they tend to fall off their thread holder, which is annoying. I think there's a full one in here, so we'll do that. Okay, 3 more colors to prep. Now this is a small piece of orange. Are we going to be using a lot of orange? I think a decent amount. So we'll probably do a full strand as well, just to be on the safe side. Woo! Hi now. That could have been chaotic. Hi Pete! Good afternoon. How are you doing? How's your week going so far? Did you have a nice weekend? We're just currently prepping for our next cross-stitch project because the fabric we need to do it hasn't arrived yet. So we're doing everything we can in anticipation for the arrival of the project. So hopefully by the end of the week, by next Tuesday, hopefully we have everything we need and we can get started. then I'm pretty sure all the back stitching aside from the fine braid sparklies. Oh no, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I was just asking how your weekend went and how your week is going. And just let you know that we've been prepping for projects because we don't have everything we need to start them yet. Okay, last bit of preppage. And then we'll have a bit of a shorter stream today and we'll raid out today. Oh no, that's frustrating. Yeah, my dad tested positive for COVID again, and he's been testing positive for about a week now. And my mom, like, I don't know, is in the middle of like, she's on a committee for an event that's like happening soon, and she's been testing negative, but she's like not sure about sort of venturing out and things. And they're also carers for my grandparents, so it's been a little bit like touch and go in terms of, you know, her not wanting to expose them and stuff. So yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun when you have to do stuff like that. But hopefully it won't be for too long. I'm doing all right, thank you. I had a good weekend. I went to a brunch, a Disney-themed brunch on Saturday, and then I spent the Sunday recovering from that Disney-themed brunch and decorated the house for Halloween. So you guys can see a little bit. I got my spooky tree over here. Got my fireplace with some ghosties. You can't really tell from this distance, but that's like a Halloween advent calendar, and that's some bats that keep falling off the wall, but we won't worry about it. And then on this wall, you can't really see because the door's in the way. There's some little ghosties. And then the kitchen has a bit of stuff. The bathroom has a bit of stuff. Only just in the like downstairs. I haven't, you know, Halloween hasn't migrated upstairs. I try to just keep it down on one level just to not get so overwhelming. But who knows? It'll probably grow. Let's be honest. But yeah, so that's what I did for the weekend. This is what we've been up to here. So we've officially prepped our colors, prepped our floss for our upcoming project. If you guys don't know, this is when it finally arrives. We won't be making the actual drink charms themselves. We're just going to be using the pattern and not using like the perforated paper to make these. So hopefully that arrives soon. And then we can finally start some spooky things. And I'm not entirely sure, but if these fit in the keychains we have, I do want to do that. Stick them in the keychains, and then when we get to 200 followers, and I do a giveaway, I want to give away these little potion bottles. Whether or not they're in keychains, whether or not they're like little badges, or whether or not I find a way to make them into keychains without fitting them into the pre-made keychain mold, that's the options. There'll be other things as well. I have a bunch of like buttons, I have some stickers, I have a few things, but we gotta get to 200 first. And then, but yes, so these little guys will be little keychain giveaway options from this. So that's what's happening this month, pending the arrival of the fabric. And this is the appropriate, this is the November color scheme here. And then for November, well, this is October, sorry. And then this is November's color scheme. And this is for the Howl's Moving Castle cross stitch we're going to be working on by Stitchy Nova. That was a free digital download. So if you guys follow Stitchy Nova on Instagram, she has like a whole bunch of free patterns on her link tree, which is super awesome. But I'll show you guys what it's gonna look like. So this is November's pattern here. It's gonna be massive, so there's no way we're probably gonna finish it all throughout November. We can try our damnedest. Maybe well, who knows? No, I don't have time. I was gonna say maybe I'll start it before November. I won't have time. Let's be honest. This is a busy month for me. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be working on next month when we do our Ghibli themed month of November. So we have prepped our floss. Now all that's left is to fingers and toes cross that the Royal Mail gets it to us before their strikes. But yeah, so I think that's it for us today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know it's a bit of a different, it's like cross-stitching, but like cross-stitching adjacent. So I appreciate you guys spending time with me and hanging out. This coming Thursday and Friday, we will be back here. It might not be specifically here. It might be a little to the left, a little bit switched around. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might be back upstairs. Who knows? But we will be needle felting, and we're going to be needle felting some cute ghosts. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it, and I really hope you guys join me. If not, all the knocking on all the wood, that the following Tuesday we'll be back here actually working on our potion bottles instead of just prepping for them. So let's go and see which one of our friends is streaming, and we can go say hello to them. Ooh, there's many. There's many. What's Knitting Tiger doing? Ooh, Knitting Tiger, it looks like she's doing some diamond painting. That's what it's called, eh? Diamond painting. Yeah, we should go say hello to them. So let us go. That's the raid message. I always forget to use it. If you want to, you can. Actually, I should use it myself. I always forget. So I'm gonna copy it. And then we will go and set up the raid for her and go see. It looks like an incredible masterpiece. So we'll see how far along they are on it. And we'll go and share. I was gonna say share and spread, and it came out to shred. Share and spread the love. Thank you guys again so much for hanging out, and I will hopefully see you on Thursday.